Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and we're going to do something a little bit different today. This was actually inspired by Joey DeFee, and I know I'm doing quite a bit of her projects lately, but she's inspiring me. This is not going to be exactly like hers because I'm going to be using some different things and doing different techniques, but it was inspired by her because I was watching one of hers the other night as I fell asleep, as I usually do. I usually fall asleep when I start watching videos because I'm so tired and I'm laying in bed. But she was using just some magazine covers or magazine pages to make covers for journals, and it was absolutely ingenious. I had never thought about that, but I know there's a lot of people out there who don't have access or don't have all of the supplies that some of us do and can't get them, or maybe they're too costly in your area. So I thought I would show you some different items that you could use to make journal covers and make them very, very pretty. You don't even have to have a lot of scrapbook paper or anything like that, just some scraps of different kinds. But right before we get started into that, I wanted to thank some people for helping support our channel through Buy Me a Coffee. And if you want to know what that is, you can click on the link below and it'll tell you a little bit about the Buy Me a Coffee program. You don't have to do anything, and just click on it and read it if you want to. Ida, Elizabeth, Vicky, Peggy, Jazamaraz, Tiffany, Thurman, Cynthia, Carol, Jen, Shannon, P. Morton 523, Sherry, McNee, and L.Y. Linus Bourne 0126, M. Wisely 76, and T. Bannon. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Okay, this is an old 1997 calendar that was sent to me by one of you, and you know who you are. It's very good quality paper. I love it. Love it. And I have cut up one of the sheets. This is one that I just tore in two, and we will be savoring all of this nice beauty here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this portion, and I'm going to leave this folded to the inside so that we can save that, and I'm not going to cover this at all, so we'll still be able to see all of this information here. This was when the Dream Cruise, that big ship, opened up. It says they came 1,000,000 strong to jam the curbsides and rooftops along Woodward to watch the sleeping giant awake and roar as in days of old for the second annual Dream Cruise. So this was January 1997. So I remember that actually pretty well. But anyway, we're going to be using that. Now this will end up, this little journal cover is going to end up 5.5 by 8.5, so that's going to be a good size right there. But what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and I thought about just covering this all with a digital. I could do that and it would fit perfectly. But then I saw Joey. I had already been thinking about doing some of these with this paper when I received it, but then I saw Joey use just some torn papers and some scraps and different things, and she did a beautiful collage on there and then stitched around it, and I thought that is gorgeous. So I am going to be doing that. Now I will link her channel below. Go over and take a look at her. She's very, very talented, gives you lots of information. Alright, so I have just got some scraps over here. I couldn't pick them up there for a minute. I thought I was going to drop them. These are different things that you guys have also sent me. And I'm going to use a few of these pieces. Just think they're really pretty. Look at that. I don't want Easter wishes on there, but that's pretty. So I'm just going to pull out a few different pieces that we can incorporate in here. And I may use part of that. I love this. Isn't that beautiful? I may open that up and use some of that. Someone sent me a card in this, I do think, and That paper's gorgeous. Look at that. Love it. Okay. And then, let's see. Here's a beautiful butterfly that I might use. And this is all just been in Happy Mail that I have received from you guys. So I also want to grab some book pages. So let me see where all of my book pages are right here. I may use a little of that. We may use some of that. These are all scraps, so just drag out what you have. Don't worry about trying to buy anything or come up with anything in particular. We're going to use just what we have. This is a print off of one of my old vintage ledger pages that I got from one of you guys. Here is a doily. We might incorporate part of that. This is a piece of paper. It was old scrapbook paper that kind of looks like an old torn box lid or something. Corrugated cardboard. Okay, then we have this. I have been trying to use this in a lot of different pages that I have been working on because this was a gift from one of you guys and I absolutely love it. So I think I'm going to be using it, part of it in this. And then I just have some book pages here that I sprayed with some, let's see. This is the Prima Gold spray and it has a little bit of shine in there. So I may use part of that. So we'll just get started. That's the best way to do this, is just get started. I do want some, let me grab right here. This is an old envelope from New York and it's, ooh, I can't tell what year, let's see, 1942. I think I'm going to save that though. I may use that somewhere else on the inside. Let's see if this is what I was looking for. Yeah, this is something that came from Tina from Switzerland. And these are the Swiss Alps here, and they're all labeled. But I'm more interested in this part right down here for this project. So I'm just going to tear a little portion of that. And it's got Kandersteg, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing all these words correctly, but I just thought that I love all of those colors of green. You know I'm a greenaholic, so we're going to use a little portion of that, and then I'll save the rest of this, and this I will include in a page because I want to preserve those Swiss Alps, and it also has all of the names and everything down here. All right, so I may use it like that, and I'm not going to ink around these, and that I know you think that's shocking, but the reason I'm not going to ink around them is because we're going to do some stitching, so I really don't think they'll need it. Now I'm going to lay everything out before I start gluing anything down, so we shall see how that looks. This I'm just going to tear around the edges. This is an old graph paper, very, very old, and hopefully I can get it torn without losing a lot of it. It breaks more than it tears, so I didn't get a video up yesterday. I had all my grandbabies over, which they're still over, but they're still sleeping. They stayed up most of the night playing and having fun with each other, so they're still sleeping this morning, but I played with them. I just didn't get a video going because I wanted to spend some time with them. I know they're gonna all start back school before long, and then I won't have a chance to play with them as much as I'd want to. Now, this one we need to decide if we want to use this, which I love the bird there, or this side. We can use a little of both. Let's do it this way. Let's tear this, and I can still use these pieces somewhere else, either on a page or on the front here. And we'll put that bird, and we're leaving some of the green so that it can match up. All right. Okay, let's take a piece of this book page, and I'm going to take probably that piece. Just trying to decide what I want. This is going to be the front, so I'm going to decide what I want the front to look like. I think I would want that on over there because I do want this bird on the front. So I may trim this down a little bit. Let's see. Let me decide here. Yeah, I think I'll cut this down. We'll use part of this somewhere else, maybe even on the back. Let's try this way. Okay. Then, let's see. What else do we have? We have this paper right here, and it looks just like an old corrugated box that we've torn up. So we'll use some of that. Up there, maybe. And here is some, I think this is one of my digitals. It's just an old book with, not an old book page, it's writing. So it's an old letter that I have just put on this envelope. I'm trying to think and tear and talk at the same time. You know how hard that is? Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. But, okay, let's see. Where would we want this? I like those colors together. So far, so good. And let's see. I know this may sound really strange, but I'm going to take a part of this magazine page, and I want some of this green here. I don't necessarily want the people. I just want some of that greenery on there. The grass, that kind of thing. Now I'm going to tear that little piece of blue off because I don't want that just yet. And all of this that's hanging over, we're just going to trim off when we get everything glued down. Okay? Now let's take a piece of this old ledger paper. And let's see. I think I'll put it sideways like this. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, and instead of using that big butterfly here, since we're focusing on the bird, I just cut out that little butterfly, or tore it out, and we'll put it back here. Then we'll have something on the front and the back to be kind of like a focal point. Right. And I really want to use this, I think. So I am going to lay that down there, I do believe. And since this top of this is mostly white, I'll let it come over that a little bit. I'm liking how it looks so far. What do you think? Do Do you like this? Ooh, I love this writing or this typing there. So we may, let's see, which side? I may just tear a little of this off here. You can always use that somewhere else. And put that there. Alright, I'm going to start gluing down. Now, I'm going to glue down like Joey did. That was a very good idea what she had. Normally I glue everything down, all the edges. But I'm going to start gluing down like she did, where she only glued the middle part. And then she could still tuck something under if she wanted to. So I'm going to do that. Just because I really don't know how I want all of these little pieces to come together yet. So we're just going to put a little glue right in the middle. Okay. Now I know that I want this, I think, under that one. And I don't care if it goes up over that one, that's okay. So let's do that one that way. Okay, let's go ahead and put this one down back here because we know we want that there. And I'm just using my art glitter glue. You can use glue stick if you want to. That'll work. Okay, and I think I got a gnat in here. Are the gnats bad at your house? Oh my goodness, they're driving us crazy here. Every time you open the door or buy fruit, anything, they just swarm in. Okay, I think I'm going to put that like that. So this one this morning is after me. We've got those little gnat, I don't know, I call them gnat zappers, but they're really not that. In the kitchen, but I don't have one out here. I don't have one in the shop, so I guess that's why they're all coming out here. Alright, I think I'm going to put that piece there, like that. Do you guys get inspired by other people? I do. Sometimes I can't. I get, you know, everybody gets in a slump. And even though I have ideas that pop in my head at midnight, sometimes I get in a slump and I think, I don't know what to make today. I want to make something, I want to work on this, I want to work on that, and then sometimes I just have too many things that go through my mind. And sometimes just watching somebody else do something helps me. It helps me know what I need to do or what I want to do. I don't want to lose this little piece right here, so I think I'm going to put that on top of that. And then I may, let's see, don't know, let's see how that's going to look. Yeah, that'll look okay like that. I don't mind that. But yeah, sometimes I just need to watch somebody else create, and that helps me. I may not do the same thing that they do, but it helps me figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else but me, but I like to be inspired, and I hope that's what everybody that is doing YouTube videos is doing them for, because that's what I do them for. I hope that I can inspire you guys. Alright, which way did we decide we wanted to use this? Like that, maybe? Bring some of that green to the back, and then just a little portion here. Then I need to put something else there. And I thought I'd put that butterfly back here. I know right now it looks like a mess, but we're going to figure it out. I'm going to tuck it under. And I don't want a lot of it showing on the front because we got a lot of green going on right now. Okay, now this, at first I thought I wanted it here, but I don't want to lose part of my bird when I fold, and here's my fold line. So I think I'm going to bring it up here. That means portion of this is going to be covered, so I can just trim that off and use that somewhere else. Can even put that back here. I don't want to cover up paper that I can use elsewhere. Yeah, I like that. But I want to put something right here first. So let's see what we might do. Now this piece, I may just tuck in like this and then have that little butterfly over the edge of it. What do you think? Think that'll work? I think I glued that one down a little bit too much. Yeah, I think that'll work, but I want this up under here, or maybe I'll just tear it a little bit and then tuck it up under. Yeah, that'll work. So let's do that. Okay, I'll put the butterfly there. And we need to be running some, I've got all of my writing so far except this running the same way, so I need to run some writing up and down. So I need a little bit more book page that I can bring in there. And maybe run it the opposite direction. Well, I'm not liking that one, so I don't think I'll do that. Let's see. I don't know, I'm going to think about that one for a minute because that's not really getting it for me. Okay, I think I'll use a portion of this to kind of fill in right here. And I really need to go this way with my words. So let me see what I want to do here. Got all my words going in the same direction, so I need to change them up a little bit. Now, I don't think I want that in there. That's too much this same color. I'm going to tear this off a little bit. I don't want it covering all of this up because I like that there. So I may just come up here and put that down there. All right, let's glue this down. I want that old crackled looking edge there to show. Alright, we got that glued. Let's go ahead and glue our little butterfly here. Now I need a piece here, and then I've got this to go here, I think. Put it about like, let's see. I got a piece right there that's not covered, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to tear this envelope that's got this brown looking flower on it. I'm going to bring that in right there, I think. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I think that will work. And then I need a piece up here and a piece here. Let's see, do we want to put that there? I still want to, I still want to use this for some reason. Let me see. I'm just going to cut a piece off of it and see what it looks like. If I don't use it here, I can use it somewhere. Not a big deal. Let's see. I might want it underneath. Don't know. No, that doesn't work there exactly. Let's try this piece here. This is just part of that. I'm probably going to tear that off. Okay, that might work right there. So let's just go ahead and glue that down. And I'm going to go ahead and glue a little bit more of that down because I think I've got all the pieces under there. Then we're looking for a piece up here. Now I said I wasn't going to use this old brown envelope here, but I may do it anyway. I'm going to lay it down and see what it looks like. I like that stamp on it with this, with the pink there. Yep, I'm going to use it. I don't think it's going to tear good. Let me see. Yeah, it did. Actually did. Then I'm going to preserve as much of this back as I can, and I'll use that somewhere else. And I don't mind that little plastic in there. Don't mind that, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be okay, because with this back piece being brown, that showing through is not going to matter. So I like that. Okay. All right. Let's glue that down. Let's commit to something. All right, first, let's see. Do I want to put that under? Yep, kind of like that. I'm just going to go ahead and tack these pieces down a little bit. See, that book page is tearing. It's so fragile. And then, let's see, do I want that like that, or do we want to tuck it in? Oh, I think I want to tuck it in. Yep. That gets rid of that little edge there. Okay, let's go ahead and put our flower down. Just trying to figure out exactly where I want it. Right there, I think. Okay, and then our bird. Now, I don't want all of my little edges level here, so I'm just going to try to do as unlevel as I can. I don't mind that coming over, but I do need this to come down a little bit, just so it won't be, I don't want this edge and that edge to match, in other words. I want this one to be up here and this one down here. So that looks pretty good right there. Let's go ahead and glue it down. It is going to cover part of the flower, but that's okay. It's all right, because you can still see, and your eye still tells you that that's a flower under there. All right, let me look at it. I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and just glue a few little pieces down, and then I can get a better look. The good thing about this little point on this glue, you can stick it right up under there and feed a little glue in there to glue pieces down. So see, most all of these pieces, let's see, everything on here except maybe this came from you guys. So this is like a subscriber or a Happy Mail journal cover. That's pretty neat. All right. So right in there. Okay, that is glued down pretty good. It's still not completely all glued down, but I'm going to do some stitching on it, so I don't really have to have it glued perfectly. I am going to go around it and just trim off any excess. You'll be able to see what it looks like a little bit better. Okay, now I have one of our new stamps. This is the ticket booth from Tim Holtz. So sorry about the crinkling, but I'm going to open this one up. I have just got one for myself. Everybody else, I think, had one. And I'm going to use, which one am I going to use? I think I'm going to use this one, just portions of. I'm not going to use the whole thing. And I'm just going to use some of my vintage photo ink. But I'm going to stamp it on this first. Oh yeah, I like that. Do I want it in brown though, or black? I think I do want it in brown. But I may stamp it off and then just stamp it. Stamp it off, stamp it. That will give me that second generation of stamping. And sometimes that's exactly what you need. That first generation's a little bit too bold. Any places that you have just plain looking paper, just go ahead and put a little bit of a stamp down there. Or where you have those edges, you might want to do that. So it's going to be all with that one, I think. Now I have these that I've had for a while, and I got these off of Amazon, I do believe. Let's see, I want this one right here. I want this one, I think. And, I have a stamp block. Hold on, let me grab it. And someone asked when I used the stamp block the other day, where in the world I found a stamp block like this. This is the stamp blocks that most everybody got in their July kit, E-Club kit. And we bought all that the vendor had, so that's why we don't have any to carry in the store. So, sorry about that. They so far haven't got any more. I don't know, I may be stamping that completely upside down. This one I'm not even doing the second generation because it is not that dark anyway. Okay. Then I got one more that I want to do a little bit of stamping with, and then that'll be it. And this is the Tim Holtz. This is the newsprint, I do believe. And I may have enough ink on here just to stamp it. I don't think I cleaned it off well the last time I used it. Let's see. That may be enough. A little bit right there, and that's going to be it. So that's our stamping done. Now, I didn't ink around each piece, but I am going to ink around the edge. I do want the edge inked, and then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to do a little bit of stitching on it. Then we'll come back and we'll fold it over. You can see what this little journal cover is going to look like. Okay, we have done our stitching, and I just kind of did a little bit like a quilt, like I was quilting around the different pieces. I thought that was cute doing it like that. Now, I think Joey just did maybe one run around hers, and that's fine. That's up to you. I kind of like all of the different, you can see how I went. I kind of like all of the different stitching around the pieces. Doesn't matter. Either one is pretty, I am sure. I think hers is gorgeous. So, just do which one that makes you happy. This made me happy right here. I like that. I got around my butterfly stitched, around my bird, almost all the way around them. And then we can fold this back in the middle. And then if we see any places that are still sticking up a little bit, we can put a little bit of glue under there. Got a little piece right there. And looks like that might be it. Yeah. I do want to put... I've got my bird as my focal, but I do feel like I want something right here. I don't know what. She put a big butterfly on hers and just glued down the center where it would, you know, the wings would open and close. I don't know that I want that dimension on mine, but I may. These are butterfly stickers. I don't like all the white around it, so let's see. Let's see what other butterflies we have over here. You know I have tons of butterflies. Oh, that one's pretty. That is pretty. I like that. I like it with the green. It's got a little bit of yellow like the bird. Now this is one of the Tim Holtz, and it's kind of stiff, so I think I may just glue mine completely down. That way, it won't, you know, if I want to carry this with me, it won't catch on anything. So we might do that. I am going to ink around him just a little bit to cover up that white. I could trim that off, but I'm just going to ink around it. We'll cover up the little bit of white, make it blend in, look a little bit more vintage with the background pieces here. Yeah, I think I like him right there. It looks like the bird's looking at the butterfly. That's cute. So let's go ahead and add him down. You could also use material, pieces of material to make these. That would be so pretty. So let's glue him like that. Oh yeah, I love that. That is pretty. And I don't think I need anything else on the front of that. Not at all. Now, I don't mind this stitching on the inside like this. If you don't want that stitching on the inside of yours, you could always just cover it up, Or if you want to use this, you could always put some other kind of piece of paper down to do your collaging on, and then glue that complete collage onto this. I don't mind that. That doesn't bother me. Looks like a little road map, and I kind of like it. I've still got all of my information on here, so it doesn't bother me at all. Now, I'm probably not going to add pages to these right now. I'm just kind of showing you what you can do and how you can use just your scraps and just old pieces of paper or whatever to make beautiful journal covers. I want to do one more, I think. Let me see what time I've got. Yeah, I've got enough time, I think. I want to do one more, and I want to use the magazine pages. If I can find what I did with them under this pile. Now, she had some magazine pages that were very, very thick. Mine are not very thick. So what I may do is just use 2 of them. Just kind of glue 2 of them together. But I want to find one that's got a little bit of interesting something on them. Even though I'm only going to use one side on the inside. Even though you're not going to see the outside, you are going to see part of the inside unless I decide to cover it. So it's just kind of scrolling through. That's pretty. That's pretty. I like the beach. So, alright, let's put this together like, let's put this together like this, and we will be covering the outside, but then we'll have the little beach on the inside, and I don't mind that like that, sideways. That doesn't bother me. You know I put everything sideways. It doesn't bother me at all. But I am going to trim off these little edges where I took it out of the book. Now, if you have some paper that's very thick, like Joey's was, you don't have to do the double. But I don't have any magazine pages or book pages that are big and really, really thick. I don't have any, so I'm going to use what I have, and I'm going to glue these together. But first, we're going to trim this off. Whoops. And then I have another idea to show you of one more thing that you can make your journal covers with. So let's do this. Now, it takes me a little while to collage most of the time, because I like to kind of look and make sure that I'm getting the pieces down that I want to get down, and make sure that it looks pretty good. So it takes me a little while. You may collage a lot quicker than me, and that's okay. No 2 people do the same thing alike. Alright, with that on the inside, that's okay on the outside. So I'm just going to glue this together, and I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. I know it glues well on this shiny paper, and I'm going to stitch on this anyway, so I'm not going to worry about getting it perfect. Right, there is our cover. I'm going to go ahead and fold it. That just helps me know where the middle is, so that when I'm putting my collage pieces down, I kind of know what I want to put on the front and on the back. Make sure it looks like I got that a little bit off. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that will be the journal with this magazine page, or this is a book page. It's an old essential oil book, I think, many years ago. Okay, that's 5.5, and it is 8 1/4, so that's a good size too. Right, we'll open this back out, and then we'll just start collaging on here. Okay, I just pulled out a few more scraps just so I would have enough to do this. They're not going to be in any particular order. I'm just probably going to start gluing on this one. They don't have to be exactly perfect. Let's see. I thought I would include this old vintage bike and things on here. I don't know, I might put it that way. I don't mind that tricycle being on there. And then I just have some old printable here that I have no clue whose it is, but it's more of a solid ledger looking paper, so I thought that would be good to include in there. We also have this just piece of that envelope that I want to put somewhere. And then a book page. You can see I'm going to go a little bit faster with this one than I did the other one. And I might put that book page that way. I don't want to cover up all of that old vintage look right there. I have some dark colored paper that would work right up here, I think. All right, I have this piece that I think I want to put right in here. I like that color, but I don't want that solid edge there, so I'm going to tear it a little bit. I want a torn edge on that. But I think I'm going to tear it backward because I don't want a white edge either, because I'm not going to ink. Now you could ink on these if you want to. That's up to you. I'm not going to ink on mine. I'm going to stitch around them. Okay, I think that'll go right there. I'm going to go ahead and take this little tip off. Yeah, okay, I'm going to start gluing down. Just because if I don't, I'll sit here and play with it for a long time, and we don't have time for that because we've got another one we want to try to do. Okay, I like that. I don't mind it being full like that. That's fine with me. And then this piece is going to go like that, and I'm going to tuck part of that under there. This is an old book page. So there's no excuse anymore. You can't say, I don't have this and I don't have that to make journal pages with, because guess what? You can make them out of just scraps. I may bring that over that instead of under. I don't know. I'm trying to get away from, this really doesn't have a straight edge. It's torn, but I'm just trying to get away from that squared off edge there, so I may just bring that over like that. Okay, and then we want this piece right there. Before I put that down, I think I want to put something right in here because I want this on top, I think. Let's see, what do we have here? We got another little piece of this we could put under there. Tuck that under there, and then that could go that way. And then I'm going to put a focal point right there, so I'm not going to worry about that being a little bit awkward looking. Okay, let's glue that down. Don't think about it too much. You'll do like me if you think about it a lot. You'll wear your paper out. And then we'll put something else up here that'll kind of cover those edges. Okay, now I don't want that on there. Now that I have glued part of this down, that just goes to show once you start gluing down, your mind completely changes of what it wants the finished project to look like. Nope, I don't think that works. All right, let's try this piece up here. Yeah, I think that'll work. Like I said, we're going to put a focal point on this anyway, so all my papers don't have to match. They do not have to match. Let's see, what else do we have? I think I might just put this back here somewhere. It's got some of that same yellow and orange in there, so it's going to be okay on the back. I don't care that my flowers will run sideways. It doesn't bother me. And this is a pretty scenery picture, and it's got some of the same greens in it. So I'm just going to tear this out. This is an old envelope. Let me grab my ruler. Well, that didn't exactly tear like I wanted it to, but that's okay. We're still going to use it. We'll just trim off the excess. You know, some of your paper that you have, it'll tear just exactly like you want, and then you try to tear another one, it's going to go catty-wonkered. And that is the word, catty-wonkered, I promise you. It's really not, I don't think. But we're gonna pretend it is. Okay, and I think I want that there because I like that dark. It's got a little bit of dark green in it, and there's some dark green down here, so I'm just going to glue that down there. And let's see. Let me just take that other piece up under that book page. And here is more of that same envelope that we have used. And I may put another piece of this somewhere. It's got some handwriting right there. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, that's going to cover most of that open place up right there. And I don't want to cover up the wording, but I might. Let's see. I don't know how far it'll tuck in there. Not far enough. Okay, we're just going to leave it on the outside then. I'm going to put it like that. All right, now I have a piece right here that I need to cover. All right, I don't mind this writing right here. Yeah, let's do that. We got under, over, under, under, over. Oops. Go ahead and glue this down because that's the last piece that we're going to put under there. We'll glue this down. And this part. Let's go ahead and glue this. And this. I don't think I'm going to stick anything else up under there. Now, I need something. I really want something here. But this. All right, we need a little piece right here, and then our focal point. So, what are we going to put right there? We can bring in this piece. Oh, that's pretty. Let's see. I'm going to tear this off a little bit more. I don't want to cover up my flower here, and I'm just going to turn it a little bit at an angle, because I want it to go all the way up here, but I'm really not wanting it to be in line with this. So if I put it like this, it's going to be in line with that. If I turn it a little bit, it's not going to be. And then you're going to have this pretty little scallop piece that comes down that way. And yeah, I'm covering up part of that book page, but you know, that's the things that you do when you're collaging. Sometimes you cover up, sometimes you uncover, sometimes you put piece down and you really don't care for it, so you have to put a little bit more down. I mean, it's just all in part of it. You have to just see what looks good once you get it down there. You know, a lot of times I put it down and I'm thinking, I don't know, I may need to put something else on top of that. And that's kind of the way that I work it out in my brain. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue under here. Now, this piece I like, but it's a little bit light, so I may put something else on top of that just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. I think I want something right here. Okay, we could put that little piece there. I like that writing on that, and that'll kind of break that up. That'll work. And this is going to be on the back, so this piece is going to be more on the front. That'll kind of break all those edges up that we've got coming together there. All right, now this book page is a little bit stark for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking my brush, a little bit of ink, and I'm just going to go over that. And I'll stamp over it too, but that's what we're going to do right now. Now I want some kind of pretty large focal point right here. I just have to see what I want it to be. Okay, I think the winner on this one is the large pink butterfly. Brings out this pink up here, and there's some more pinks in here. So I'm thinking that that's going to be it. Just trying to decide exactly where I want it. That might work right there. It was between that one and a green one, and I'll show you the green one. This green one. What do you think? Do you think the green one looks better? I don't know. Now that I lay it down, it might. The green, there's more green in here than there is pink, but I use a lot of green, so I was trying to come up with a different. I'm thinking the green. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down pretty good under here. That's that old book page, so I definitely don't want that to come up. And then we're going to glue the butterfly down right there. And I'm going to glue him all the way down, so he won't get hung on anything. This is some, I think, that Betty sent me that she had cut out for me. Let me make sure I don't get his wing hanging off there, because a little of this I have to trim. Okay, let's go ahead and trim this off, and then we can get a better look at what it's going to look like. Okay, I've gone ahead and glued down the little extra pieces there. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in the middle just to see what it looks like. And I know I've got a little piece right there I need to glue down. And I'll stitch it down too, so that's not a problem. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I like that. I may just trim this little piece off instead of trying to glue it down. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, and then we'll put a little bit of excess glue in there, and I'll stitch right there too. So that's not going to be a big deal. It's going to stay down once I stitch it. I like that. I like that. Okay, I'm going to take this and do some stitching on it. And I cannot bring my sewing machine into the camera because mine is huge. Mine's just a regular sewing machine. So I know Joey shows some beautiful stitching on her channel, so you don't have to see mine. You can just watch hers. But stitching is stitching. I just use my regular sewing machine, regular needles. I don't use anything special. So you're welcome to watch hers, and that way you'll get a really good idea of what's going on there. Now I may want to label right here. I don't know why, I just feel like that something there is a little bit jagged looking. But I'm going to wait till I stitch, and then I'll see if I want to label there. Alright, what I did on this one is I did some really rough stitching around the butterfly. And let me trim these threads off. And then I just did some stitching down through here to make it look like he has, that's his trail where he came from. Ooh, sorry, that scared me. It's lightning here. I guess you heard that. I was not expecting it because it was just sun shining a minute ago. Okay. Let my heart settle back down, and then we'll continue. And I did straight stitching all around the edges. Now when you do stitching on paper like this, you need to spread your stitches out so that it won't cut into your paper. I just did a little stitching down through there to hold that down, and then just some angled stitching in different areas just to kind of break everything up. I felt like I wanted some stitching right here, but I don't think I do. I think that would take away from the butterfly, so I'm just going to put a little extra glue up under there. Now I didn't stamp this before, but I think I'm just going to put a couple of little stamps on it now. I'm not going to put a lot. And look at my butterfly on the inside. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to leave the inside just exactly like it is. I don't mind that at all. I'll make it off of here in just a minute because it is thundering and lightning and coming up a storm. So I really don't want to be in here around all these computers while that's going on. So let me finish some of this off, and then we shall stop this video for today. I'll have to come back and show you the other idea that I had later on. I had my head turned in case you didn't hear me. I just said later on. Alright, I am going to stamp just some quick stamping with this. Just a few little areas. Alright, so that is enough of that one. And then I am just going to use this little guy and do just a couple of little circle stamps on here. And it's not very inked up, so I'm not going to worry about stamping it off somewhere. There we go. We're just going to do 3. That's good enough right there. Okay, so that is another journal cover folded up. That's what you have. Isn't that cute? I love these. And again, thank you so much, Joey. You are amazing. I am definitely inspired by this. I have got so many pieces of junk magazines laying around here, and now look what I can do with them. I can make beautiful journal covers. Alright guys, I will link Joey's video down below so you can go over and take a look at that. And like I said, she does do her stitching on camera with her sewing machine, so you can get the idea of all that stitching on there. And we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We also have some new items in the store, so make sure that you go check those out. We've loaded some more in today. And we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.